106.75, you've got the thin structure Stevie Wonder breakdown to take place just because you've got trapped overhead supply. So maybe that offers a pullback. I would look for something to be constructive around this zone down here. You've got, if you go back to the hourly chart, take a look. What do we have? We've got ourselves, I'd say that 97 is probably the line of the sand. It might be a little bit higher, like 97.50. Let's bring that up, 97.5. That's going to start to act as your line of the sand. The high of day from the gap down, this high that broke out, gap fill reversal level. I would get rid of this alternate that we had in here. Like the higher lows, as long as they're set above that, look good. If MU can find a higher low over the 106.75, that would also be a really solid look here for me in the upward direction. That would be that, right? And your target would be these equal highs at 110.85, 110.85 for a number C. That is MU in a nutshell. That's how I would sort of approach this one today. This, if we're below, think about the pullback and try to find the opportunity for a long down here for the upswing. Or if we recapture, you can just use 107 for round numbers' sake. A break of the previous high of day gets you into 110.85. That's the trade that I would like to sort of see if we can get. Next up is Lulu, Melon, Lululemon, Lulu, Lulu, everybody gets a Lulu. What do we see out of the chart? Let's go to a daily just so we can start on a bit more of a higher time frame. So earnings are still a concern out of this one. They're a little bit further down the pipeline. This set of flat highs is kind of key. Let's go to 260 on that. And we'll come in. There's obviously a gap below us. Start making this going yellow. Yellow at 245. And duplicate that. Bring that up to in here. Perfect. So for the most part, out of Lulu, I'm sort of getting the sense that it's trying, I think there's an opportunity here for a reversal. It's got to hold higher lows over its gap up. So basically the same premise as the NASDAQ, where this is possibly, and I know this is not NASDAQ, don't get me wrong, I know. But just like the NASDAQ, the pattern is suggestive of an island reversal off of the lows. So any consolidation up here, which looks fine based on the overnight session, anything that holds up over, use a round number 250 is fine also, is great for an inverted head and shoulders island reversal, possible break of the neckline, at least closes the gap, if not goes higher into, I would argue for this flush point back over here at 282. That could be a possible target worth considering. So this, to brigade bolt here, thin structure retracement, gap close, 282 target for the flush. That's the optimistic long. If you're looking for a short, you've got to at least get underneath the gap, back down into this consolidation. And remember, earnings are still around the corner. So that's my take out of Lulu, kind of keeping it simple there. I don't think that there's not much else to really read into. If you were a stronger seller, put yourself in their shoes, you would have liked to see this reject for a lower high, right, to stay below the overhead supply. Obviously, that's not the case. But now acceptance in here really puts some pressure on the shorts to possibly close out, adding upward pressure. And that is what we've got out of Lulu. Let's jump on over to the ES futures, and we'll take a look here and see if there are any updates that we need to consider. Let's go down to a 15. The answer is no. I think that for the most part, we're still pretty much along the same lines of what we considered earlier on in the show, where it's not so much double trouble anymore. This is extended a little bit, but if you could open here, support the overnight low, and then brigade bolt over the value area low, which is the opening range high from yesterday's session, that's still a long trade I would entertain into the prior high of day for a point A to point B rotation. Might be choppy, might be grindy, because this is technically the value area, so manage expectations, be for patience, probably warranted in that zone. If the market consolidates under the value area low in here, if it's not really respectful of the overnight low, we know the deal. We're really looking more so for a gap fade through the range from yesterday, under the low of day 55.26, into the gap close at 54.90. The most bullish thing, which seems like a pipe dream at this point, but don't hold your breath in this current market, is a higher low over the prior high of day to get into 5600. Seems like lower odds currently with what's happening in the overnight. I would say that highest odds might look something like this. Second highest odds just get you this, and then the final lowest odds are that. So quite literally 1, 2, and then 3 here. Sort of how I approached this morning's session. All right, I think that's going to do it for me out of this Friday morning, and that is what we've got. What else is going on in the chat? We're all set? We're all set. Sarah A., great weekend as well. Appreciate you coming out to the show as always. Michael Cobble. We've got B-Dog, of course. Never say never. I love to hear it. The captain is here. I Spy Lunar Dow Jones. Dave, thanks for coming out to the show as always. Paul B. Craig.
pullback low here, which I find interesting. We've got a 5.5 handle opening range. The NASDAQ 37 handle opening range, so rather substantial. Getting bigger here in the S&Ps, just broke down below. What's everybody thinking? We've come a long way in a short period of time to the upside. Are we going to see a long liquidation break today, or are we going to see those long liquidation break traders get squeezed to the upside later on? That's my question. I'm not bullish today. My motto is Hakuna Matata, and we're going to find some ranges from our great traders. We are going to take some house trades, and my thought is just to try and stay patient here, because again, we're opening range in range, low of value in the NASDAQ. We just looked below the opening range. Low of value on the TPO chart is 19,472. That's NQ, and kind of hanging in the upper kind of V-shaped area. I'm thinking we got to be patient, look for better trade locations as the day goes on. But that's just me. What are we thinking, guys?
Bullish on my end. Last night
wow.
slow markets. Now that this market is normal, we took and went over some few slow markets trading concepts, and one was to put a sell limit order at 674. It worked out pretty dang good on the NASDAQ. And like I said, it was just a trading concept. It worked out great, but I think it showed the power of overnight trading. I was looking for a pullback. We got a pullback. We're hovering right here at just under 19,500, and I think it's going to be looking for areas to buy this market.
I could have guessed that. Where do we buy it? Dakota always says, where do we buy it?
Back to the normal trading plan. Just buy the dip. Where do we buy it? There hasn't really been a dip the past couple days, right? Substantial.
What kind of levels do we have here? I'm always looking at S&Ps. You guys look NASDAQ.
No, I can look at the I can look at the ES. ES is already breaking out.
Yeah, it is. Love that afternoon pullback. Whoa. NASDAQ struggling at that afternoon pullback. Whoa.
I do like longs on the NASDAQ. Right on here. I mean, last night, and then I think it's coming into fruition now, like back in July 31st, and then again August 1st. This was a key area. This is a key zone right around this 500 level. It was resistance and became support, and I think it might have a high probability that we come support again. We are making higher lows since we opened, and we could see a nice breakout trade. Let's see if we can just get into a breakout trade.
Trade to the upside. What's up, Coach Jay? Jay, what are we looking at for levels here? All right, let's talk about this. If we get into a trend day again today, we're gonna figure out what these size of these pullbacks. So look at these pullbacks to get on the trend. It hasn't been established just yet. We do have the levels, new levels, Topstepx daily levels pinned to the top of the chat. Right here. That's trade 55.52 with the that takes into zone between zone 7. We're bottom end of zone 7. The upper end is zone 8, actually 55.52 upper end, zone 8. Average session range low 55.54. Coming down, we got VWAP at 55.60. So I got my top 7 daily levels open here for my always taking a look at them. Let's let this opening out here and look to take some trades. Jay, what are you looking at in terms of levels, pullbacks, just your average range? What are you looking at here today, Jay? Ooh, that's the cost of 5. Five big ones. Get the Venmo. Let's go, guys. Come on. All right, go to Dakota. Dakota, what are you looking at in terms of pullbacks? If you do get a pullback, what are we looking at?
501. I'm long 501.
I'm 501. Thank you very much.
Have a nice breakout trade and hold above these 500s.
Liking 55.50 in the S&Ps. That's the afternoon pullback low. As long as we hold that 55.50, I mean, the low of the session right now is 47.5. It's a 46 quarter. Anybody likes that level, let me know. I am just the broker here today, so we gotta get some new
I
levels
do
going.
like these longs down here, Bo. Now it's just a matter of getting check marks and getting an entry point, right? From my perspective, I am bullish. I don't know. It'd be nice to get Coach Jay, what do you got? You gotta figure out your mic. You have to pay Jack $5.
We're trying to figure out the mail. We're trying to figure
Oh
out.
yeah!
Figure out who's being here. We got our ender, his end. James or Gabe, would you reach out to Jay and try to work with him?
Trading is also optional, guys. It's Friday.
It is Friday. It's my man night. It's good morning, traders. Thank God it's Friday. Chat, yeah. That's right. Right home looking for levels.
Yeah, I mean, I like that 55.50 level, into value low from yesterday, 46 quarter. If that is a level that anybody else is looking at or interested in, then we can start looking for check marks if we do get a pullback to that level.
Well, Dakota's in a trade right now.
Yeah, I just closed it. They just closed it. So flat. Minus $200. Done here. I still like the longs. I'm just gonna be a little bit more patient.
I
Wait
think
to see
you're
if we get more market structure. We just opened up.
Yeah, I mean, in the NASDAQ,
It's not.
I'm always looking for afternoon pullback highs and lows from the previous session. The afternoon pullback low, which is after about 11 or 12 o'clock when the market pulls back and then continues the move to the upside. I always mark that level. The NASDAQ, it's 19,513, and we've been having trouble getting above it. We also have the anchored VWAP from the 7:30 5-minute bar that is right at that level as well. So this looks like kind of a pivotal or critical level. If we get above it, maybe we see this market continue to push to the upside. If not, I could see a deeper pullback, which might be a better trade location for longs, as Dakota is looking for. Now it's a little bit different here in the S&Ps. Here's the afternoon pullback low in the S&Ps, which is 55, 50, 75. Pretty much close to our value low from yesterday. Pretty much close to our early session low here today. And it's holding above. And it's also kind of holding above the anchored VWAP from the 5-minute bar from the 7:30 release yesterday. I'm certainly looking long, but now looking at the overnight session VWAP, that is heading lower. That is a little bit contrary to what we might be looking for potential longs. Get a chance up there. That's 55.60. 55.60. Do we have any levels up there that kind of line up with that? 55.60.
5516 Hope, I got you at. No, we got 58 went low, 64 hook point control. Just yet.
And yes, right?
Yes, look at yes. Nothing just yet. Hey, JD, what do you think?
Back long, right at 500. I got
I didn't long
NASDAQ 500 even. Like I said, I like this breakout to the upside. And if we do break out, my first targets are going to be right around 550s, and then maybe a holding runner. With that ES though, I can imagine ES is very similar.
Yeah.
We broke out, we're kind of consolidating here, and so maybe this is a bullish flag pattern. Just break above 56 and a quarter.
Spending range here.
we are. 54.57.
Gold's on a tear.
Yeah, it is.
Gold to get to 2,600. Oh wow. Might be getting there.
What price you guys have in gold? What's your last price of gold?
25.31.
Okay, good. That's I think show us some country.
Yeah, I see gold getting to 2,600 this year. I mean, that's not very much of a prediction.
In a minute though, we haven't gotten there yet. We're close to all-time highs. We're in the 70s. We get it to 25, 70 maybe, somewhere there. Hey, take a look at tilt. I did see crude had crude 82% long right now. Crude. Pretty hot tilt. There.
Jer says, just press the damn buy button.
I know.
Yeah. Got all of them says, Dakota got long, his target's 550, so stay up the easy out, that's not being bullish. I've been bullish since we had that sell-off last week. I had a feeling that we're going to be talking how great of an opportunity that fallout and that sky was falling moment on Monday.
Yeah, last Monday.
Incredible.
Which was worse at the bottom.
And what level are we looking for a check mark? What are we looking for?
I was looking for, a pullback to that afternoon pullback low in the S&Ps, which was 55.50, and that's just to our regular session low. So that was a pretty cheap trade.
Yeah.
We started talking about it when we were there, but we just couldn't get it lined up with anybody else's levels. It's a Dalton trick. Watching afternoon pullback highs and lows, because sometimes that's where the market was able to pull back to in an uptrend yesterday. Buyers stepped back in and pushed it from there, and that seems to be certainly in the S&Ps what is lining up now. We opened just slightly below it. We tested relatively close to the value area low from yesterday, and now we're holding above. And an afternoon pullback low, we're holding above the VWAP from the 730 number yesterday. And here we've tested right to the overnight session VWAP in the S&Ps. All roads, ladies and gentlemen, all roads.
All roads.
Hey, look at tilt here. 76% long NQ right here, right now. Yeah. 2% long in the crude. Dakota is long. I think you're long from 500.
Yeah, 500 even. What's that quote? Never let a good crisis go to waste.
Love it.
Rahm Emanuel.
Yes, he did say that. It's definitely him.
Yeah, that I think if I was going to sum up last week and that Monday, that kind of was. Is that fair enough? I mean, was we in a crisis or was it everyone just overreacting?
What was that? How do you categorize that? Let's talk about today. We got to talk about today later. Our players. I'll ask him the question, Dakota. You characterized that last Monday with Bacon Jr. and all that stuff.
John Jones, that 330 candle. I'm thinking you're talking East Coast yesterday. That last bar, that last regular trading hour bar. There was some pretty significant MOC that came out yesterday. It was at least in the billions. That's the only thing that I can say there was any significance to that. It did recover.
Well, that tilt, we had 76% long NASDAQ. What happened to NASDAQ in the 5 minute? That sell off. So I'm at 76%. NASDAQ has peeled back to 68%. Tilt.
That's the second time this week, Andre, that I've seen the tilt get really heavy on one side and then the market crush it.
Yeah. Well, I was looking for the exit. There's a door. You got to beat him to the punch.
My guy Jay, we gotta get him back in here.
Yeah, I know.
We are working behind the scenes with Jay.
Hey, good morning, Jay.
Rest assured, he will be back. Good morning, Andre.
Morning, Jay.
Well, so far it's not. I may very well be a choppy, nasty, choppy day.
No.
So took a $100 loss on that. I mean, it might just be. Oh, does this feel like the other day when we just barely get stopped out?
No, can't be too much this week.
Summer turning.
Man, Hakuna Matata day.
Sure. When's the last time you saw Gun coming? When's the last time you saw Gun coming home?
Last year at Soldier Field. Now I understand. Well, I mean, they finished this tour, if you want to call it that, this tenure at the Sphere. But I'm hearing through my buddy that they may be contracting 4 more years of 30 shows each year at the Sphere. As long as next time I'm going.
We'll be Vegas sooner or later. Back there. Topstepx field trip to the Sphere.
Yeah.
I'll go to that one. I'll go to that
Yeah.
one.
That would be pretty
Yeah,
cool.
man. There's a particular beauty to seeing Hoagland at a Dead concert.
I'm sure there is. Oh boy, I want to see that too. All right, let's take a look at this Topstepx daily levels. Hey, I think these outputs, some projects behind the scenes. Let's see how that comes about.
Hey,
That's wonderful. So what do you got there?
here's a picture of me and my kids. They bought me the tickets for Christmas at Wrigley Field for the Dead show.
Look at that proud papa right there.
There's kids.
Grown up now. That proud dad right there, man. That's cool. All right.
We could do our live trading contest, what do we call it? Our trading league at the Dome, over there at the Dome. That's the Sphere.
That'd be next level.
Can you guys hear me now?
There he is.
Yeah, I can hear you a little echoey, but we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm having to use my AirPods right now, so I'll try to talk as little as possible. I'll just give you guys some levels. I don't know what's going on with this road mic, but it seems like it just kicked out on me, so.
You're better now.
Alright. The level I was trying to give you was 5551 in the ES, which is the high of that housing starts number. We're kind of using that as a resistance right now. We bounced over there, had a nice 10-point trade, but the Goldman interns cut my audio because they didn't want us to make money today, so we're going to find another one.
What the heck? Just saying, I was missing you.
He was.
Yeah, so that was.
Oh, there you are. There you are.
We
I
bounced
see
off
you
a
now,
few
Tim.
levels. Yeah, there we go. We bounced off a few levels that I had. 5535 was one of them. 5551 was the second one. We know we also have Michigan Sentiment coming out in 12 minutes. So I'm going to be a little bit patient now. That I would have taken that trade had we not, been dealing with the issues. So now I'm going to stay patient and try to find another opportunity.
I like that. Stay patient. Give me the game. Okay.
Come on.
What, gold? You looking at gold? Yeah. That means there's risk. Is there risk? Risk somewhere?
That conversation we had about it yesterday, I'm really hoping nobody is trying to fight this upside down. And hopefully you're on it. Hopefully you're riding this thing to the moon.
Microsoft is dumping, man.
We just hear Jay say we got the University of Michigan number here in about 11 minutes. Besides that, not a whole lot on the docket today. We do have 12 o'clock Baker Hughes rig count. It's absolutely nothing besides the fact that the weekend is around the corner. At 12:25 Central Time, we have Goolsby speaking. Again, he's a non-voter.
Order filled.
Like to run his yap and a little too much. We'll see what he has to say this afternoon. But in the meantime, we do have University of Michigan. About 11 minutes. So we'll remain patient. See how that November can move markets now.
Goolsby is speaking twice today.
Well, it's the second time, Jack.
I don't know, I'm just looking at financial juice. It says 12:25 and 3:15 or something. Is it just that? Yeah.
I should probably hit refresh. Oh, indeed. So double speaking engagement. Well, luckily, 3:15, the markets will be closed. 12:25.
Order filled.
Come on,
Order
let's
Yesterday
count
we had-
double Goolsby's.
Yeah, double serving of Goolsby on a Friday, middle of August.
Yesterday we had the mausoleum. Today we got two ghouls.
Honestly, pretty much said we got rate cuts coming.
There's the rally we're getting.
Yeah, that's brutal.
These are new
All right,
also.
guys.
I needed you, Jay.
All right, guys. So we saw that. We got a wide mark
Stop
outside.
on it.
We're gonna have to widen decides why it stops. Did you stay in that trade, Dakota? Did you get
No,
stopped
no,
out?
it just stopped me out, and stopped me out at like 480, and then immediately just turned around.
I think we still have time if we want to get in long. 55 is the high of the 3-minute opening range. The VWAP has not left that range yet, so although price is moving up, volume's not going with it as of yet. So, if we get a pullback and we still like it to that opening range, that might be the opportunity to buy upside target in the ES at 55.93.
Free upside.
Yeah,
And that's
there is.
55.
Sorry, say that again, Hope.
So that's 55.
55 is the high of the 3-minute opening range. 93 would be the outside target that I have, but we did have a ton of selling that came in today. Right before that housing number that we would have to get through. So, like this resistance up here that we're seeing in the 60s in the ES, if we got a long lower, the first conservative target would be at this resistance here because we've seen something come in and kind of push well so far today.
Yeah.
So
It's session VWAP as well.
there we go.
You said 55 session VWAP.
5560 right here is where the overnight VWAP is.
Yeah, maybe we just be patient, wait for another higher low, see if we can get in with this trend that we're starting to build on this morning.
All right, let's do it then for Michigan. If we do get a significant pullback on the Michigan number, it's just let me tag that. If we do get a bad note, let's see what's expected here. Maybe they give us the pullback we're looking for in Michigan. We're expected 66.9, previous 66.4. That gives us a pullback to get in. Jay, what levels do you like to the downside? Get a deeper pullback or a deeper snapback in the ES? Say we get a bad reading on Michigan. 35.
35. So remember that 35 from yesterday? On
Yeah,
this housing,
remind me.
the 35 from yesterday was a level that was almost sell side imbalance. Once we started to close above that level and use it as a support, that's when we saw market starting to break out. If we look at the dip that we had so far today, I think the low is right around that 55.35 level. So if we get a pullback there, that's a pretty deep pullback for right now, but if we get a pullback there, we see that level hold again, that could give us a pretty good opportunity to buy. I think we can set our risk right around 55.20, depending on how many contracts we're trading. But if we're looking for a little bit of a shallower pullback, anything up 55.50 that holds is decent.
55.50. Cool. So we got a check mark for 55.50. 550.
It's that afternoon pullback low.
All right, so we got 2 check marks there.
That's yes.
Cool. All right, lock and loaded then. We're gonna trade 558.
My check mark's gonna be when I see the price move, so I'm not gonna go out there.
I like that too, Dakota, because it's an area first, and then I want to watch the market reaction.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll just tell you when my check mark is there. I'm going to be looking for a long. If we do get a pullback, my check mark would be the long side. But there's a few different zones I'm looking at. I would prefer price to go down there, show support, maybe do like a 3-bar reversal, some type of consolidation, and then start to reverse and make a higher high. So we've done that a couple times. I'm looking at a 1-minute chart over here on the ES, and you can see it. Pretty clear after these little pullbacks, we get a 3-bar reversal or some type of reversal pattern. And if we see something like that, if we pull back down, say 50, 52, you would have to check for it.
And minutes remaining. 3 check marks. OJM. Code of 55.50.
Dakota, did I hear you right? You kind of want to do a right here, right now check mark?
Yeah.
Where
So it's
see
like,
the
okay, you know what?
momentum. You're looking at the
Pull back,
level,
pull
you see
back.
the momentum. Yeah.
Right,
Not
and then
working anything yet.
Which I know it's a little bit harder on the housing, right? Because it's
Where do we
like,
set the risk?
no. But
No.
trying to be preemptive, it's like, okay, we're going to be looking for a pullback in one of these zones, and if we get it, then green light, rather than just place a 5-limit order. It's going to be like,
Right.
okay,
what do you see for risk? We see for risk for 55.50s.
Order filled.
Ish.
45s.
45 on the stop.
All right, that's 43s.
Okay.
Yeah, I like 42.
42. All right, cool. We got a plan, folks. Four
Now,
minutes.
we hit it down.
Yeah, we just need a pullback. We need a 10-point pullback.
It stopped out today.
We got the shallow pullback, right? We got the pullback to the opening range 55. We didn't get exactly there, but we got to, the orders. That anchored view up is starting to leave that range to the upside, so this looks good. If we can get a buy lower than that, and we still like this to the upside, we have a plan.
Order filled.
Yeah, Virginia.
I love it when a plan comes together.
We just need the pullback now. Do not run away from us.
RTY on rally. Green ain't hard.
It is.
Russell. 1,000.
Oh, yeah, Lucas Bruce. Coda, check out the RTY. Good chance for a breakout. Then we got Michigan in 2.5 minutes.
I should have waited. This is a bad position here.
Mark.
I fucked up.
Tilt down, high in the crude tilt. Goes up to 82%. Now it peeled off to about 73%. Crude last trade, $75.82. Range. About a $2 range overnight. Last trade, $75.80. High today, $76.
Nasdaq looks like it wants to push down. If Nasdaq starts pushing down here below the 20,
Take a look at gold.
they'll probably push down the market. But
last trade, 25.
yeah, here we go. It's gonna push
High
down.
today, 25.38.
Shit.
Plus $6 off the highs there.
Order filled.
Yeah, it's pushing down, guys.
Order filled.
And Q, look, here's your pullback NQ. Longs, man. This bitch is just 3 points, just rippers.
Would we buy a dip on gold?
Yeah, right, here's your dip.
Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Yeah, I know the guy.
What a way to start, right?
Cruise pulling back to VWAP right here, 75.71 last trade. I got VWAP to 65. 5 cents off VWAP. Close to 5
Order
minute.
filled.
Yes, was hint of a pullback, 55.57 last trade. Gun. House count, big check marks for long to 55.50. Dolby, what do you got here?
Order filled.
NASDAQ levels. Oh man, Dolby team higher highs. Love that.
Volatility,
That's a
man.
great team name. I love
It
it.
really is. It really is. Gonna go higher than the high.
30 seconds until sentiment comes out.
You got that, Jeff? You want to do the
Oh, I
outside?
gotta move my stops.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
shoot.
I'm here for. Give me a few
Man,
seconds.
you're here for more. You're here for everything, Jack. I'm interested to see what your news of the day is as well.
Jack's not just the announcement guy.
Jack,
Order.
Jack of all
Yeah,
trades. Hey, hey.
shit.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Order filled.
Got to go. All right.
Wow.
Chat, no.
There it goes.
Really, really freaking good on it. So,
Yeah, well.
okay, I'm waiting on it. The number should be out.
It is, I think so. We're seeing a lot of spike in volatility.
Going the wrong way. Why isn't it coming to us? Come back. Back here. Oh man.
Wait a second. I gotta hit the old since Eddie's not here.
Oh.
Yes, that is right. University of Michigan came in at 67.8. Previously 66.4, 66.9 was forecast, so a little higher on that.
Oh boys. We're not gonna get that pullback. We want off the Michigan number.
We're getting a pullback on gold though.
Yes, we are. Okay, well, should we take a look at gold? Are we forcing trades here, fellas?
No, I don't think we're forcing anything. I think we talked out a pretty good idea there. We managed the risk. We waited for it. I didn't want to hold the position through that number anyway. If we want to pivot to gold, Dakota, where are you looking
These 25s. These 25s. Yeah, so far we haven't traded, right? So that, I mean, that's great to know that we're wanting to trade. We're looking for trades. That one didn't happen. And now we move on to the next. Maybe we can find an opportunity on and pull back to gold, which I do like these 25s if we can get down there. And we're sitting right at the distance. There is an argument to be said that maybe we are in that zone, already in a zone, right into these upper 20s, somewhere to see if we can get a push back up to us.
That previous all-time high, 25, 23, right around that 25 area. Yeah, if we come down and hold that as a support, I like that. I'm still gonna stick on the ES if you want to, talk through a gold idea. But I'm thinking still, about 30 points of room to the upside in the ES if we do get this breakout in this area. So I'm gonna leave that idea if another opportunity.
Okay. Wow, down shot out of a cannon. Up about 80 points off that Michigan number. Yes, pumping higher, up about 8 points off of that Michigan number. 55, 65 last trade. Okay, we're talking.
There's the settlement gap close in the S&Ps.
Gold, we're hitting 25s already.
Order
Yeah.
filled.
I do like this here because it's that previous all-time high. We hope for that support.
What do we think we should gold? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wanting to get in. I want to see us maybe test the 25s again. We were there for just a brief second. That low was exactly 25. So I don't want to just keep buying for no reason. I'm watching this zone, looking for an area. My stop loss would be around 21, around 20-ish. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. As long as it's gold, right now, right in this zone, it's just a matter of how we like this.
Aaron Luce. Aaron Luce, if you're in the chat. Experts. Listen, power players a couple weeks ago. Well, what are you, well, they're talking about the words, yep.
Just being patient, waiting, because this thing could fall out of bed. I'm not going to get it until after we see some buyers step back in.
Little Chuck Slack.
What do you think?
We'll get it first, yeah.
So far, buyers of gold stepping in around reading.
Yeah, that was that previous all-time high Dakota. We just came down and checked it.
Okay. Yeah, I like the longs. I do. It's also a cheap trade, right, where we can have a relatively tight stop and a pretty good risk reward. Get on this stuff.
Behind the scenes here, get that gold trade off the ground. If the opportunity doesn't come,
Triggered in. I got triggered in. Yep, 23.7. 23.7. We're getting at 3-bar reversal on the 1 minute now.
Bullshit.
Typical tilt. Tilt. On the gold, Dakota's in gold, 50-50 up tilt in the white. Now speaking on CNBC here. 3 times this. Ooh. Bulls big. Oh, they're pumping higher in the NASDAQ. Just above VWAP 19,544. And VWAP right here, right now. Wow. Let's just pull back, what? Like, now it's new highs. Look at the 5 minute just vicious.
micros, I'm gonna build a position here in micros.
Order filled.
Micro gold.
Yep, if we do break back up to these 25s, 25.9 is going to be a great breakout.
5. Last street 25.25, $2,525 for troy ounce of the yellow precious metal. Pumping higher here than NASDAQ, pump higher.
I'm long 2 micro ES 5565.
Yeah.
Order rejected.
And
Order
yeah,
filled.
same idea. Again, I still do like this to the upside. I'm doing this with micros because we're hesitating at the high of this Michigan sentiment candle.
Well, just do it.
So I think we could get a pullback. But I still do like this to the upside, especially with the NASDAQ looking like it wants to break out as well.
Order filled.
I guess, what would you assume is your risk on that trade?
55s. 10 points right now. 2
Points.
micros is about $100. Yep.
Yeah. Easier to handle with micros, right?
Yep. Yeah, if we get back into that opening range, I'm okay, being wrong on that trade execution, and then seeing if the idea is still valid once we get back down there.
I got a question for you, Vogue, and I'm also going to ask the same question to Mick when I get a chance to speak with him, and you can chime in as well, Andre.
Oh,
This is something that I don't have a lot of experience with. I think it is very important, and it came to me last night. We preach micros all the time to manage risks, but if the trader's used to trading micros, how can they transition from micros to minis? And what would tell them? Because I'm starting to see more and more traders trade like hundreds of micros, and it's just like, at what point can the trader transition? So maybe you can answer some of it now. Maybe it could be a question for group coaching later, or Mick. I'm really curious. That's a question that I've been pondering the last 8, 12 hours.
Well, I mean, anybody that's trading hundreds of micros should certainly be considering using minis, or at least a part of their position. You're just killing yourself with commissions if you're going to do that.
Is there like a good rule of thumb or threshold where if you're telling a trader where they're trading like maybe 10, 20 micros per trade, scaling out? It's like, okay, about so many contract sizes when you should transition to minis?
It's a really interesting question. I mean, if you're trading 20 micros and you're getting out of 5 at a time, you're going to have to stick with the micros. But if you're trading 40 micros and you're getting out 5 at a time and 10 at a time with some of them, then, I would say anything above a 4-lot mini, you're doing 2 minis and 20 micros if you need to scale out like that. A good thought. I mean, I never really thought about that. I need to think about it some more.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I built in 5 micro long in gold. We're testing these 26s, and it's looking really good for a breakout trade on the back end.
Nice. Go. Are you still in that one?
Yep, yeah, I'm still in it. 2 micros, 55, 65, I believe. This one,
Okay.
55, 65. Not really doing much. The NASDAQ looks a little bit stronger. Where we're getting buying above 55.50, ES kind of still hanging out here, but it's why I took this with micros right now. I'm not seeing that push yet, and a lower entry would be ideal if I'm looking to take minis.
Well, the 60s. If we get 60s, Hogue, we get check marks at 60.
We do.
Well, that would be basically VWAP 55, 59.
Yeah, what? No favors yesterday. That was the short side, though.
I mean, I could
Yes.
see, you see getting a check mark from me for that. Tremendous to the upside in the day session. To the upside for 6 straight days.
Day session D. Yep. NASDAQ pumping higher here.
We're above the pullback low. We're above the anchored VWAP from the 7:30 number yesterday. We're above the anchored VWAP from the all-time high. We're above all those VWAPs. It seems like solid buyers are still in control. I would definitely consider a buy down there at 55.60, 55.59. Anybody else?
Can we scale into it?
Yeah.
Can we scale into it?
Yeah.
How many lots are we going to trade for a full position?
Yeah, now we're talking.
For full position? Alright, so
Love to. Love to.
so we're calling a 1 unit at 10.
I'm down.
Like max 20.
Max 20? Okay, so one unit would be
5 lots.
Yeah. 555.
Okay.
If we get those, if we get a step, it's worth it. Yeah.
Where's our risk?
Where's our risk?
Order filled.
Where is our risk? That's the question. That is the question.
The low of this bar, this 30-minute bar, is 55, 55, 50. And that's an area we were thinking about buying.
Right.
Do we stay patient and try and get that, or?
So if we could, I don't even know what it is dollar wise, but I'm just looking at market structure wise. If we could set the risk within that housing starts candle, I would love that, right? Because then we'll let the high of that candle hold the way it has been. The high of that candle is 55.51. Anything 55.50 or lower, we can set the risk there. And then at that point, we're just wrong and not getting weighted out.
Okay, so we start with a 5 lot at 55, 50, 55, 53, 52, and 49.
What time? 59s, 53s.
49 is kind of back inside that 7:30 bar.
Yeah. Alright, so we're working 59s, 53s, 50 what? Hey, nice trade on that gold, Dakota. Damn,
I
son.
know, dude, watching it rip right back up.
Still in it?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm still in it. It was a cheap trade. Okay, maybe I
Oh,
wasn't
that was
fancy
funny.
enough to like try and get you guys to take it on the house account.
Nah, I think you were.
Wow, that was a trade.
I think you were. That all-time high support was the key, right? We bounced right off that 22, 23 area. Nice trade.
No, man, that's. We gotta work our 59s here, Ho. Let's get a fiver in there.
We're getting 58, 56, and 54.
50, 56, 54, 5 apiece.
Yes.
Struggling to
Right now it's at 15 lots.
Yeah. Oh, we're GTG on gold.
Got it. We mixed that up, that sweet spot there that Dakota found.
We're good. What happened to the shot? He said, pull back down.
Alright, we got an update on the captain of Discord. He's got a long trade on in the NQ right now. He's long one at 490. He's targeting 609. Get a floor down there at 490. That's lifted up to 515 to 505. So we'll find some rejection up here, and then look for back and fall down to 515 to 505. But currently long at 490. Looking to get into it.
515. Size 609. Backfill 515. Up before. What did he get? 490s.
A little while ago, I had to scroll back into Discord to see the film. I've been busy with some other administrative stuff. I didn't get a chance to check it out too early. But
What's
we got
upside? What's upside? JD
609 target.
Alright, backfill 515.
Where are we buying? We're asking ourselves this morning.
Which market are you talking about? Because we bought it where you bought it.
No, I'm talking about all these markets right now.
Yeah.
Where are we buying?
Yeah.
We just tried to get 60s, didn't get it, right? In the ES.
Yeah.
Nasdaq's pushing up. Next stop 600.
Yeah, 609. price action, like upside target 609.
Just about to
Yeah.
close the settlement gap at 581.
Order
Yes,
accepted.
as well. It's just like stair stepping up.
Yes, it is. Jay, you still in that long?
Yep, yeah, I'm gonna hold this one. I'm risking $100. The upside target I have is 55.93. I'm okay leaving this on and either hitting that target or getting stopped out if we don't get a push here. Obviously, if we start to make progress up, I'm gonna trail it up, but there's no reason to trail it down. If I was in minis, probably I might have taken profit already because we're still hesitating around these 70s. But with the micros, I'm just gonna let it work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I beat you again. 13 minutes.
It's E,
Okay.
Jack, if you want. Bring it in. If you're ready.
Yeah, always ready.
Hey! Love it, Jack. Love it, Jack. Took you some grief and shoulder tap yesterday, Jack, but when you're looking at spreadsheets, man, not very nice.
Looking at the spreadsheets, your boy, I'll talk about it during Power Players today, but I actually booked the winner short last night, and I am probably not going to trade today. Yeah. But
Very good.
this is the news. Andre, did you know for just $450,000 a day, we can make the sphere a reality?
Whoa! Who is that? Look at that chic. Who is that guy? Look at that guy. 450. No, that's the trick, huh?
And this is a mock-up that I did in probably 3 minutes. We could do something glorious. For just $450,000 a day, we can get NP on the sphere for a day. Other news here. Earlier number this morning was housing starts was actually the weakest since May of 2020. It'll solve around that, but consumer sentiment, consumer is always there for everything except for houses. Besides that, we saw consumer sentiment. In Hollywood news, this is truly incredible. Nicolas Cage is going to play John Madden.
What? Did not have that on my bingo card.
No, I
Oh.
didn't see that.
You need a lot of makeup.
I mean, out of all the people they could cast, they said, you know what, Nick Cage has this.
This could be great. I mean, like, I know this isn't markets, but this could be market moving. A movie is going to move markets. It is this film. And then, briefly, I just wanted to share, I'll get Andre's back here. We have a Tao update. Andre actually went to Tao last night, the restaurant, not the club. But it turns out we didn't get any content from it because, as Andre said this morning, next image here. So,
I didn't think I was gonna make it to air. I did not think I was gonna make it there.
It isn't good.
so this is saving you. So just know the top stuff is all in good fun. Andre is on record behind the
Not my
scenes
idea.
saying he's not Cowboy.
R.I.P. Yes, it's not. You guys got me. Got me. Alright, we're still pumping here, guys. We are just not in the location.
Where do we buy? That was the question.
Yeah, I think we'll get a trade location if we want to. Obviously, we passed up on a few of them, but this has happened before. My question is, do we still want to, right? I'm holding on to this long, but the market's not doing what I want it to do either. So, as time goes on, do we still like the trade idea?
Yeah.
We'll have the benefit of the initial balance coming here shortly, so
9 minutes.
we may see some sort of failed upside auction or some sort of auction continuation outside the initial balance. There's more coming at us here, so let's just be patient. Hakuna Matata, as I said this morning, everything's all right. We'll find something. Something good is going to find us. I find if we're looking for trades, that could be a problem. Once something finds us,
Trading.
then we're in clover.
Trading's optional.
We're kind of just battling with settlement right now in the ES, 55, 67 and a half. Market has been
Dakota,
settling.
one of my team members has a kind of a scaling plan for going from micros to minis and working his way through it. We'll talk about that maybe later on if we get something on or if things slow down a little bit. I know you're in a position in gold.
Oh, I'm out now.
You're out now,
I'm
okay.
flat.
We can talk about it now if you want.
Yeah, let's talk about it now.
All right, so he's talking about a scaling plan in a 150K account or 4,500 account start, and this is what he would be doing until he accumulates $19,999 in account balance. 10 micros is the initial position size, scaling in and out of position with 10 micro contract increments, right? $1,000 personal daily loss limit, $2,000 personal daily profit. He's looking to, only risk 1,000 on 150K, looking to make 2,000 a day. Once his account balance is 20,000 to 29,000, or basically 30,000, then he moves up to 2 mini contracts with the initial position, $2,000 personal daily loss limit and a 5,000 target. 30,000 plus account balance, he goes 3 mini contracts, initial size, scales in and out of those, looking for a $3,000 daily loss limit and a $6,000 personal daily profit target. So you're looking at it off of account balance, starting with the minis, but he's only in the minis until he makes 20 grand, and then he goes he's only in the micros until he makes 20 grand, and then from 20 to 30,000 he's in 2 minis, and every 10,000 he adds above that he adds another mini.
Real quick before I respond to that, gold is setting up again. We are coming down to an area of support, and over here that's going to be 2517. 2517 is going to be a key area of support. We came down, we bounced, we touched it, now we're starting to get a little bit of a rally. So this is what I'm looking at again, is see if we can get a long in gold between 2517 and 2515. This is a key support zone that I'm looking at. We just broke out of it today. Basically this morning we're coming back, we're testing it now. So yeah, if I was to put my check mark on it, I think this would be another one of those
17s?
2517, 2515. We came down, we tapped 2516. We're starting to bounce off those just right now.
Alright.
Good luck, guys.
2514 is VWAP.
Yes, it is. Luke, you've been quoting VWAP a whole heck of a lot lately. I love it, man. I'm learning with you. I'm learning with you, too. I mean, but I'm starting to sense. Vince, I'm a believer. Power review up here's 566. Last trade. And what are we working? We're working 58, Hogue? You might want to move that up. VWAP now 5560.
Yeah, I canceled everything until we got another look at it.
Okay.
We still have check marks for 60.
Yeah. Check marks from.
Yeah. 60s, 58s, 56s, 5 each. We're still thinking about looking at this gold,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
VWAP.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened really quick. Like we went down and touched 2516 and we're already in back testing 20. But if we could get back down there and just wait for that opportunity, no sense just trying to chase it right now.
Ready?
In the chat, this week's whole gem for me has been settlement price. Yeah. Almost right. So what's settlement ES there, Coach Jay?
67 and a half.
Alright, and what's the average pullback been in the ES since your time? Since about 8:50 your time, 8 a.m.
7 or 8. 7 or 8 points.
What we're getting right now, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Exactly what I'm looking at, Dakota. That's exactly why I asked.
We're at 8 right now, so if you want to go with the averages, that's it.
But yeah, we've got to adapt to trending markets. Also, it's been a miracle for the 60s.
It's always that feeling in motion, like, right? It's 8-point pullbacks. I don't like to get into the market.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Hey, if we're going with the numbers, we know that if we put on the trade, there's a possibility that we're going to lose, right? Everybody accepts that right now. If we're okay with what this looks like, just go ahead and put it on, right? When it comes down to a level, I think sometimes I think that myself too. When we're on the stream, there's a little bit of like, hey, I don't want to get this wrong.
Yeah.
We just got to do it.
But it's valid right here, right now. I mean, if we're following a pattern too as well. Like
That's what I'm
I marked it out on my screen and it looks a little bit of a mess. But yeah, this is a beautiful pattern. It's gonna
What,
repeat
ESL?
itself.
ESL? Or,
Yes. You check where I
Confirm
have
ES.
it marked out. Pattern's gonna repeat itself. That's what it was doing. That's what it's doing.
Am I getting an order here?
Yeah, 64s. Yeah, we got a check mark from Coach Dakota here. Still Coach Dakota or you just Dakota these days?
Whatever. I mean, it's,
I think you're just you're like Madonna. You go by 164s.
We got an order in to buy 5 at 64. Just a filling broker here.
Is that the 8-point pullback that we were looking for?
One more
you must
check.
not have paid our Philly broker enough. He probably told us.
Stiffed him on the Christmas bonus.
We used to hand out big fat envelopes full of cash. We actually saved money every month for the Christmas bonuses.
I think this gold trade right now, we can do. Just didn't give us the opportunity to get in. We went stretch short of 16, and now we're just maybe another higher low, and then break above 25.22. Possibly see us go back into these mid to high 20s again. ES might give us another opportunity as well.
Hold it.
We've got a bid in at 64.
Well timed. My lot, John?
Yes,
Where's our stop loss?
Where is our stop loss? These
that's
VWAP.
my next question.
I would argue maybe 60, but then that would make me to believe put our entry at 60.
Yes, yeah, good point. But I don't even think we got 64. Yeah, we're not gonna get 64.
Buy it.
Yeah.
Hobbs, and I agree. He said he'd wait for a candle to close above the IB before looking for a long entry. We've got the IB
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, it's running at 72.
Yesterday's high. Go work in that bed. Thanks, Ozzy.
Hanging around settlement. I'm starting to like the trade idea less. The more we just hang around here,
Why? Like,
because I'm a momentum trader.
I got you. Well, you got momentum in the NASDAQ right now. There's your momentum.
Yeah, NASDAQ.
It's gonna pull yes with it.
I
There
would
goes.
put my check mark on getting in long ES, whether it's getting in where we typically have a stop loss or if we want to get in on
a couple of traders on our trading teams. Papa Giorgio and Hobbs are actually looking for a possible reversal around these levels in the ES. Papa Giorgio ran some internals. You see some larger players taking a little inventory off the table around these levels. Not short, just taking some inventory off the table. Neither of them made a trade yet. They want to see a little more price action, but I think maybe a temporary ceiling is coming up here in the ES.
Right.
We're still working a bit. We're in.
Oh, we got 3 stuff wars. Right, long 5 from 64.
Just 5. I'm thinking the other side of VWAP, which is 60. And we're gonna be there.
It's off and right here right now. Or reversal, is that what you're seeing there, Dakota?
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. It's,
You're stepping in the NASDAQ here. Sorry, house got long 5 from 55.6. What do we get? 64s?
54s. What's that?
Yeah.
Wait, pull back.
and where's the
Yeah, we've got Brooksy in Discord right now too. Brooksy's on Eddie's team, saying he's looking for some ranging right now between 55.64 half and 55.71.75 for a little while. So look for possible sideways price action for a little while. That's according to Brooksy.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks, JD and Brooksy and everybody. I got the stop in at 58 right now.
Okay.
Points below VWAP.
Interesting. No buyer stepping in the NASDAQ. I release
There's just a lot of upside imbalances above in the 70s, and we just haven't cleared any of that. So,
it was a fancy number.
a lot of time left still left in the day, but it just looks tired.
Yeah, no, I see what you see. I would like an entry at 58 and my stop loss at 54.
So you want to add,
So again-
add another.
Again, we're getting stopped out where we want to get long.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Where this is just a much smaller time frame as well. So it's
You guys don't like the trade anymore. I mean, we're basically at a scratch. We can reload lower.
I like this rate. I do. It's just that do we want to scale into this, or are we just sticking with 5?
We can scale in.
So we took down the trade.
Yeah. What's our risk on this trade again, Hogue? Where's your stop at?
Right now it's $1,500. Just this $5.
Okay, that's okay.
And that's where the stop is, and that's where Dakota is saying that's going to buy it there. Now we're considering leveraging into this. Well, as they call it, it's dollar cost averaging.
It's like they're looks like a trend day to me, guys.
Yeah, I mean it's
I don't-
we're bouncing
my
right
opinion.
off that board.
Yeah, we have seen back-to-back days of very one-directional moves in the equities during regular trading hours, I should say. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind.
Well, about noon. So about
Being able to decipher if it's not moves in the market is what separates the trade.
Oh my god. Got a little bump on it. What is that? What is that like that's like 10 little monkeys jumping on that. One fell down and bumped his head.
Machiavelli offers a tangled web of contradictions, profound truths, villainous advocacy, single-minded determination. But by looking beyond the now famous brand of Machiavelli, we find some grim, relevant truths about the world we live in today, and how to function within that world. To understand at all the philosophy of Machiavelli, you do need to understand his life, and to the degree the times he grew up in. These times were marked by political instability and societal chaos. Niccolo Machiavelli was born in Florence in 1469. He came from a wealthy family, but his father Bernardo was the poorest of that family. Bernardo was a former lawyer, mostly unemployed, who had a good network of relationships, but not much to show for it. Machiavelli's father was skeptical of religion, or at least as skeptical as one could be in his era. His mother, meanwhile, was a devout woman who spent her time writing religious poems and hymns. This combination of religious skepticism and talented writer would certainly form the basis for Machiavelli's later work. At the time, Florence was a republic, on paper anyways. The Florentine government consisted of 8 priori who were all led by one sort of prime minister. Every 2 months, these people would be elected via a lottery system from the names of well-to-do, respectable Florentine men. In theory, this allowed a constant changing of power so that no single profession or geographic area could seize control entirely or permanently. In practice, the system was an absolute disaster. Every 2 months, there were wholesale changes to government approach and priorities. So the ruling Medici family had stepped in. They manipulated the lottery system, ensuring that all eligible names were friendly with those of the Medici line. In reality, Florence was functioning like something of a dictatorship. This level of corruption wasn't really rare in Italy, rather it was closer to the norm than an exception. Wars raged around Europe for territory. Italian mercenary government leaders changed sides at the drop of a hat. It's all to say Machiavelli grew up in a system.
How much should good car insurance cost you a month? $80? $120?
Nope. There came a month when I almost gave up on trading because I was just so burned out emotionally and financially. And so I didn't have any money, man. This was, I think, this was January of 2021. I didn't have no money. I spent all my money on just depositing $500 for. I took a loan from like these like loan shops or whatever, payday loans. I used to know what they're called. I took my last payday loan, and I said to myself, this is when my trading changed forever. I said, I'm going to take this $500 loan, I'm going to buy an FTMO challenge, and I'm going to follow all my rules. I'm not going to break no rules, because I've been breaking my rules and I'm not getting anywhere, right? So let me try 1 month, let's see if I can follow everything to the T, and if I can't do this, I'm giving up this month. That was I was going to do it. And I remember, I think it was January the 19th or 17th, I passed up to phase 1 for the first time. And about a week later, I passed phase 2. And on March 12th or something, I got my first payout for $2,800 USD, which is like, 3,000 something Canadian dollars, right? Which is more money than I was making at my job at that time. So that first payout kind of changed everything for me, because that made me, once the money became real, my dedication was back, my motivation was back, and I was like, I have to do something. And I remember sitting at one point going, wouldn't it be crazy if FTM will interview me one day? I remember I would just think about that, like it was a dream, you know what I mean? And then so I took that $2,800 and I bought 2 more 100K challenges, and luckily I passed those as well. And by May of 2021, I had 400,000 with FTMO, or 300. Yeah, I had 300,000 with FTMO. And so my first year of trading, I'll mention this. I lost $30,000. A lot of money that was not even mine. Credit cards, this, that. I owed a lot of money at this point. And so I got $300,000 in funding. Came July, and with a 200K account, I made $30,000 with FTMO. And I made $30,000 with FTMO, and I made I had some friends I didn't know any traders. I made some friends online while I was trading. One of my friends was Ben. He lived in Bolivia, South America, and I got paid out by FTMO, and I said, I'm coming to see you. It was just like I'm gonna go chill with some of my trading money, and this is when the trading money became real. Like I was like, damn, this is like really happening. Like I can really do this. And so I'll give a little bit of story about this. So I came back from Bolivia. And I was sitting, actually at this point in July, I started getting into my Forex funds, and I got max my Forex funds, and I got 100K with, the company that blew up. How am I forgetting this name? Anyways, Funding Talent, man. Damn, I don't know how that slipped in my head. So Funding Talent. So at that point, I had 300K with FTMO, 300 with my Forex funds, and 100K with Funding Talent. I came back from Bolivia, and I had an email. So the whole summer, while I was working my job, I wasn't really working my job. I was just really trading, and I was pretending to work. So I wouldn't even pick up calls. I wouldn't really reply to emails. I wasn't really doing anything. So when I came back from this little vacation of mine, my boss called me in the morning on a Monday. He's like, we need to have a meeting. We figured out what you've been doing the last 2 months. It's very serious. Basically, they were gonna put the hammer down on me, right? And so I realized I remember this clear, August 11th, it was a Monday, 2021. I had 15 minutes left to that meeting, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna quit this job, man, and I'm just gonna pursue trading full time.
Yeah, I feel like nobody talks about the real life situations of like what it's like to be a trader. Like nobody talks about the downside of being a trader, or the losing months, or the losing streaks, or whatever it might be. Nobody talks about, oh, you have to put like your last dollars and try to build up your account, or even get 2-3 jobs. I have to work 2 jobs just to get my capital up in the first place. With tackling one real life situations, like I was helping out my mom. My mom's a single mom. I didn't meet my mom until I was 17. Like my whole life, I went through foster care. Then once I moved, I contacted her on Facebook. I was homeless at like 16. I contacted her and I was like, look, I'm homeless. You don't know me like that. Well, you probably do, but I don't know you like that. Is there any way you can, come pick me up from where I'm at, come, help me out? Instantly there in like 20 minutes. Because she stayed real close to the little did I know. And I've provided for her during that whole time, my whole journey. I was providing for her. Most of my money went to her, then trading. And then I have to figure it out. And nobody talks about the downside. Everybody talks about, oh, look, I'm winning now. I can do this, I can do that. I can catch this trade, I can catch this trade.
Yeah.
But nobody talks about the losses.
You were raised in the foster care system.
Yeah, my mom, she had me at 16, and she wasn't fit for the parenting at that time, and she was also in the foster care system too as well. So it was like a repeating pattern. She was in the foster care system, had a kid, and she couldn't raise me. So then the government ended up taking me, and then I kind of grew up, with random people, like switching schools, switching states, all over the place.
So you never had like a solid foster care family?
Around like age 7, age 7, I finally sat on one, and she put it in my head that my mom didn't love me. So throughout my whole life, I'm thinking my mom didn't love me, until I started to realize as I got older, I was like, hold on, something's not seeming right. And basically what she was trying to do was manipulate us because she couldn't have kids of her own. So the whole time she was manipulating in our heads so that we can call her mom and do things as like a mother would, have their kids doing, And all in all, it was like the craziest thing I've ever experienced. And also as well, like it came to a point where I started to realize all our checks, like over time, she was trying to live like my foster parent was trying to live like this young life. She wanted to be 20, but she was like 32. And all like they give you like checks every month for being like in the foster care system. I think it's like $600, $700 or something like that. Maybe. And my foster mom would freaking spend all that money on like drugs, partying. It was getting crazier. As I started getting closer to high school, it got crazy and crazy.
So that money was supposed to go to you guys, the kids,
Yeah.
not to them.
Yeah.
So they were getting a separate check, like from the government, like for having you guys
Yeah.
and like watching you guys. And then you guys had a check for you, and she was taking you guys' check.
No, it was the government check. It was
Okay.
the government check. She
Okay.
had a job, but then the government check was to feed us, and the government job was to keep up with, or her job was supposed to keep up with the bills and make sure everything was straight. And then the government check was to make sure we had clothes on our back, food in our stuff, and then we had the lights on, obviously.
And she was using it
And
for what she wanted.
Yeah.
Mm.
So then it came to the point where me and my brother was eating like ramen noodles, like not the real ramen noodles, 'cause that was like expensive.
Yeah.
That was like $12 a box. We got the $1 pack of top ramen. It came to a point where we couldn't even afford that because she was spending all the money. So I remember I used to have to. I'm being so transparent. I used to have to like go to the Dollar General, put one under my shirt, and leave to feed my brother. Me and my brother. Yeah, it was crazy. And then I finally the reason I ended up getting kicked out was because with all that going on, I was trying to fit in school because at home it was like terrible. So me trying to fit in at school caused me to hang out with the wrong crowd. I was thinking like, oh, these kids are cool. Like what they're doing is fun. I don't have fun at home, so these kids are having fun. Let me have fun with them. But their fun was, partying, doing drugs, all types of stuff, hanging around guns and stuff. And I found myself in a situation where I ended up getting into a couple fights. And it was fights after fights after fights, getting suspended. My foster mom at the time really didn't care as much, so it just kept happening. It's kind of the same way with trading. You keep doing the same mistakes and nobody tells you.
Nobody tell you nothing. You just keep
You're
losing.
just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just gonna keep doing it. So I kept doing that, and then eventually I got kicked out 10th grade year, and I was 16. Once I got kicked out, when I got kicked out, I also got arrested, and I went to, I think it was Clayton. No, it wasn't Clayton. What's that place called? I think it was Marietta or YDC or something like that. I forgot what it was called. It's a nickname they call it, but I went to that YDC and I spent the whole year in there. And once I got out, I was 15. Then I turned 16. Got out. It was February 24th, 2019, or 2018. And I came home. I just got home. Been home for like 2 hours, and they're just sitting on the couch when I get home, and they're like, okay, we gotta talk. You can't stay here anymore. You're a bad influence, and yeah, we just can't do it. And I was like, at first, I thought they were joking, but then like a week later, it passed, and then next thing you know, I was locked out the house, and I couldn't get in, and I didn't know what to do. So my first night, I was sleeping at my job, and I spoke to the manager. I was like, yo, could I get a place, like sleep in a break room? I'll make sure I, don't smell crazy or anything. And could I do that? He was like, yeah, you can. But he understood that it was a mutual agreement of my situation.
Yeah.
And I went to Taco Bell. I got a job there too. I knew that if I'm going to be at McDonald's, it's going to be impossible to pull it off for 24 hours a day. Of being at McDonald's 24 hours, somebody's going to say something. There's like different shifts are going to come in. So the morning shift allowed me to sleep there. So now I just have to get Taco Bell to let me sleep on night shift. You know what I'm saying? So
Creative.
yeah. So then it ended up working out. I was able to sleep at both Taco Bell and McDonald's. I did that for like 6 months. And one day I was so, I guess you can say suicidal, depressed. I was so depressed because at that moment in my life, when I got kicked out, the first thing I did was I was knocking on my friend's door. I was trying to see who was going to let me stay with them, and nobody would let me stay with them. And it's like, bro, I thought we was cool at school, and that's when you come to find out you're only cool at school. You know what I'm
When
saying?
it's convenient for me
Yeah.
to be around you, we cool. Yeah.
Yep. When nobody would let me like stay in their crib or anything. Not even sleep on your porch. I couldn't even sleep on a porch or anything.
Wow.
So then I ended up. Oh snap! My fault.
No, bring it in. Bring it in. I'm loving it. This is the reality of it, bro.
Yeah,
Because a lot of times people see us where we are now, but they don't understand how much you had to go through to get to where you are now.
Yeah. So eventually, I ended up contacting my biological mom. Typed in her name on Facebook. Now through on Facebook, and I texted her. I wasn't even like I said. I'm still in my head thinking that my mom doesn't love me. So I'm texting her. I'm like, okay, I know we haven't talked, or you don't really know me like that, but I'm really struggling right now. I got kicked out of my foster parents' home. I need some help. I left it at that. Clicked it. It was like 9 o'clock at night. Sent the message, went to sleep. And when I went to sleep, I woke back up. I seen that she texted me back. Instant click. That was the first thing I clicked on. And then I texted her. I'm like, hey. I literally just said, hey. As soon as I said that, she called me. She called me. I'm like, yo. Well, I said, hey, mom. And she was like, son, where you at? Where you at? She just kept saying that. And I was like, I'm chilling at the job right now. She was like, where's your job? Where's the address? Send the address. I sent the address. She made that. She said it was a 40-minute drive. She made it into like 20 minutes.
Come on, mama.
Picked me up. She had picked me up, took me back to her crib. She had just actually got that crib. And it was like a 2-bedroom. And I was sleeping in the guest bedroom on like a pallet. Time being, I said, look, I'm gonna buy my own air mattress and everything. You ain't gotta worry about me. I'm just really appreciated that you was able to pick me up. And at least I was in a predicament where I was like near death. It's like I didn't like my life at that time. And yeah, I honestly, if my mom would have never stepped in there, bro, I wouldn't be here today.
Wow.
I wouldn't be here today. If my mom would have never stepped in, I'm pretty sure in a week or two it would have been like you wouldn't even know whose side was.
Wow.
Because I was that deep in depression, and I was that deep in like, okay, my life is just that's it.
Yeah.
And I had no hope. That was when I had no hope, and as soon as I was gonna give up, something came. So one day I was working. It was like roughly around like 6-7 o'clock. I had just got there 2 hours before, and I seen this lady come through the drive-through with like a BMW. It was really nice. She had like chains on, nice little watch. Boyfriend was also next to her, chain was on, and he had also a nice little watch. And for some reason, I've never asked nobody this question before, but for some reason I was like, hey, what do you do for a living? Like, I want to know what you do for a living. Never asked anybody ever this question. The TikToks for what do you do for a living was even out at the time.
It was unpopular.
Yeah, it wasn't even popular. So me asking that was so random. And she was like, oh, I trade stocks. And I was like, stocks? Like, I had no clue what that was. I didn't even know people made over $1,000. I was making like $400 every 2 weeks. And I was like, there's no way anybody else can make money. So she ended up showing me like Robinhood. She showed me this Robinhood account. And it was like 30K in it. I didn't know what was going on. I was just looking at numbers.
Yeah.
And she was like, how old are you? And I was like 17. And she was like, oh, snap. Well, you gotta wait till you're 18 to legally be able to trade. But make sure you get into it when you turn 18. So it was just stuck in the back of my mind. I was like 7 months away from my birthday. So the months went by, and then I finally turned 18. And I remember what that lady said to me. So when I turned 18, I remember I went through the foster care system, so I didn't have my social security, I didn't have my birth certificate with me. So I had to go get those things at 18. It took me like 2-3 weeks to get everything. Finally got it. First thing I did when I got all of it together, I started my first Robinhood account and a Webull account. And I put $5 into Robinhood, made like 20 cents off of like putting it a small bit into like Apple. And then it went up like a little bit and I made 2 cents. And I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I didn't even know the power. I was like, okay, whatever this is, I just made 2 cents. I'm pretty sure I can make more. So let me do this. Yeah, that's how trading started. I ended up, trading stocks for like 6 months. Around that time, stocks were really booming. Like there was things like BWAC, which was my biggest trade ever. But to the build up, I was trading things like Apple. I was trading the SPY. I was trading low penny stocks at that time because that's when they had this Twitter guru called Zach Morris. He was really good at calling out stocks. I used to, watch him. But the thing I've noticed about people who call out trades is like sometimes when they call out trades, you might want to get in like a couple minutes like later than what they do, because when you call out trades, it'll pump up and then it'll dump and then it'll go back up again. So I would have to wait after he calls it, wait, everybody's gonna buy it, jump, it's gonna come back down, jump in, and it's gonna go back up. So I got used to doing that over and over. I remember making my first $1,000 off of CEI. And that was like a chamber energy stock. It went to from 20 cents to like $5 in less than 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy gains. I made my first 1,000, and I was saving up money at that time, so I was also throwing money into my account. Went from like 3,000 to up to 10 and 15, and I was consistently growing it. And then one day I ended up getting to 100K on my account, and this was like 3 months in. And I was like, okay,
That's a lot of growth.
yeah,
Really, really fast.
It was crazy. It was crazy because I was like, I remember I traded this one stock. It went from like $9.50 all the way up to like $20, and I was like, whatever I'm doing with these stocks, I gotta just keep doing that.
Yeah, don't change nothing.
Yeah. So I would wake up every morning trying to find like the lowest stock or something that's trending a little bit, and seeing if I can catch the bottom of it or even catch it before it goes up, because that was the big gains. That was the penny stocks was honestly the biggest wave in 2021. That was like the biggest wave, and then we had EWAC, which was Trump's. He wanted to make a new Twitter. It was called. Anybody know what that was called? Huh?
Yeah, I remember what
It came out with a social media app. It was
Yeah.
called Social. I think it was called Social something. It was Social something. Anyway, it came out with a social media app, and it was supposed to be bigger than Twitter. So it came into the market at $10. Like first day, it came into the market at $10, and everybody was talking about it on Twitter. And I had 100K around this time, and I was like, bro, Donald Trump, bro, I gotta get in on this, bro.
It's gonna go.
So I kid you not, at that moment, I made the biggest life decision ever in my life, and I was like, bro, if I don't put all my money on the line on this, then it's just, I might lose. I might not lose, but I might miss this opportunity. I seen the opportunity, everything was there. I seen that it just opened up, so I know it had some growth. So I knew from wherever I was gonna buy it, it was gonna at least go up at least $2-3. I knew that. But I got in putting like, I think 90K in there, like almost 90% of my whole capital. And I was like, okay, bet. I waited. First, it opened up at 9:30. Went from $10 to 15.
What?
Yes, bro, it was crazy. It went from $10 to $15. I was like, bro, hold up.
What was your account at that?
My account, bro, I think
When
my
you got the
account,
$15?
my account was at roughly like, bro, it was like roughly at 15-20K. It was roughly around there. And I was like, okay, wait. I was like, wait. And as soon as I was like, all right, let me just put my phone up. I'm gonna set an alert if it hits my stop loss or whatever. Because I put my stop loss in profit. I was like, all right, bet. If it goes back down to like $12, then I just take the $2 gain and I'll be okay with that. So then I let it be. I set alerts for 25. I set alerts for 50, and then that was it. I didn't think it was gonna go any higher than that. Tell me why. That day I was off. It was a Thursday. I believe it was a Thursday. I was off, and I didn't have any work or anything. So I was in Walmart just getting some stuff for the family. Because I used to eat these rice pasta sides, bro. These things are good, but I'm gonna tell you. I used to get like a buttload of those things. So I'm in Walmart. I'm shopping. Next thing you know, I hear my phone ring. Ding, ding. I'm like, whoa. And I didn't check my phone, but it just kept dinging, bro. It just kept dinging. So I was like, all right, I didn't have any friends at the time, so I knew it wasn't a text message. So then I ended up pulling out my phone in the middle of Walmart, and I remember I was in like the hygiene aisle. I remember I was like in the middle of the hygiene aisle, and I looked at my phone, and I was floating like 300K, and the price of DWAC was literally at like 75.
$75?
$75.
From $10 at an open?
$10, bro. Like, you can go look this up. Like, you can go look at it. It went from $10 to 75. And as I'm looking at it, it's still going up. I got out at 120 bucks. I got out at 120 bucks. It went up all the way to like 156. From $10, it went all the way back up to 156.
It's just me, my dad, us working, and like me literally listening to audios and spending time with God. Because I felt like I was stripped from everything. And one of the most important things breast cancer, all within like this same 2 to 3 month period. So all these like areas of my life, I feel like I'm under attack. And this is even where I like got the most depressed I had been. This is where I even had suicidal thoughts, because you're starting to look at your life as like, okay, if the people closest to me are giving up on me, you know, then why should I not give up on me?
Yeah.
You know, so it was just very symbolic, and that's what the thing too is, like God will take you through seasons of life where if you look at them for what they are, then you'll see, okay, we were working on the same property every day. The property had flood damage, so we had to remove the internal that was flooded. The external was just fine. The house itself was just fine, but the internal needed to be gutted and then filled back up properly again, so that way it could increase in value and be restored. And that's literally what I was having to do to myself every single day, was having to gut what I thought made me me.
Come on,
that was drowning and flooded. I had to gut that, get rid of that, and then fill myself back up with the Holy Spirit and the things that God had already instilled me to be. So as this is all happening, I'm like, I would save up for 2-3 months, load an account, maybe double it, and then blow it. Save up for another 2-3 months. And mind you, every time I would blow those accounts, that shit hurt, bro. Like, it was just another open wound that I would have to wait for it to scar up. But I just would always ask myself when I thought about quitting, like, bro, I used to go to bingo nights to try to hit a lick in bingo just so I could load up my trading account and do numbers. Like, the numbers I do now, I used to dream about doing, you know, like, truly. And so it's just crazy, bro, like how God will take you on that journey. And I'm on the back of bingo cards, literally drawing out market patterns. And like, what was cool is while my dad and I were going to work every day, I would be playing audios or teaching him about trading or taking trades. So whatever money I could make, I was just taking and then just trying to load up an account, keep my overhead as low as possible. But I didn't even really see a withdrawal for like a profitable withdrawal. I had even taken money out that I had initially deposited, you know, like just to make sure, okay, can I actually withdraw this? But as far as profiting in the market and seeing more come out than what I put in, I didn't start seeing that until 2019, 2020. And that's also around the time that I had moved to Atlanta. Yeah. So spending like around a year and a half in Erie, I love that because I'm with my dad every day, but my dad understood too that like I wanted to go get my time back, as far as I might not be making as much money out the gates, but if I can devote 24 hours a day, not 24, I still got to sleep, but if I can devote my time, my full-fledged time and effort to trading and marketing and social media and stuff like that, then just how much further can I go? And that also puts the pressure on too of like, don't be wasting time now. You know what I'm saying? It's now or never now. So, but I got blessed too because the NCAA they owed me a check from the football game. So I get that check in 2019. You see the timing of it?
Right when you're making that move.
The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
The key to great skin is exfoliating and moisturizing. Old Spice gives me both.
Right when I'm making the move, bro, I moved down there with 500 in the air mattress, and I was having like breathing issues. And this was pre-COVID. This was like September, October of 2019. I don't know if it was anxiety or what it was, but I literally went down there with I picked up Dante. I drove from Erie to Philadelphia, which is the other side of Pennsylvania. Picked up Dante, my best friend who we had met in Vegas at a convention, and he was full-time trading and networking and all that stuff as well. So he had actually was the one who told me, like, yo, bro, like, I'm getting a house down in Atlanta. If you want to come move in, like, we can fully lock in and just go get after it. And that's that's what we did. So I picked him up in a rental and had my stuff, had his stuff, and get down there. And I was only there like a day or two, and I'm like, I gotta go back, bro. Like, I'm having breathing issues. I need to see a doctor. And then within a week or two of going back, I get this check from the NCAA, and it was 6 bands, and that's like, that was really like the stimulus. And you know what I'm saying? That's really changed a lot for me, because then I took 1.5 to 15K trading, and that also was while I was like doing Q's Torch Challenge. And he wanted to see people take 3K on demo and trade it and show good risk and everything. But I did 1.5 live and took it to like 15 or 16, and was tagging him throughout the whole build. So like he saw what was going on, and then he had a 5-day in person. And so I went to that, got the A+, and even after that, bro, like I blew my next 2 or 3 accounts. Even after getting the A+, because I was so overconfident now. I'm like, the GOAT just co-signed me, said I'm an A+ student. You know, like he basically just told me my technicals are as good as they can get. And so now I'm going back into the market just thinking I can't lose, and I'm over leveraging. So, you know, 2020 rolls around, COVID happens, and I had 4K, that I took 4K to 64K in 4 days. And it was on EU and GJ. But mind you, the next week, I didn't close out. I let those trades flow going into the weekend, because I had just seen Dante, my housemate in Atlanta. I just seen him have a 6-figure day off the same trades. Right? Like, we're sitting in the living room, and mind you, we're in East Point, Atlanta. Not the nicest neighborhood off Campbellton. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're kind of in the hood type shit. And, you know, I'm watching him have a 6-figure day. I'm taking 4 to 64 in 4 days. And this is, once again, greed. You know, like, I'm seeing 100K my man's just did. So I'm like, all right, I want to touch 100 as well. So the next week rolls around. I'm just recklessly dropping 10, 20 lots on trades, because I'm like, I got the equity. But as those trades start to retrace and lose equity, I'm also taking 10 lots, 20 lots, losses. So before I know it, bro, the whole account's gone. So it's like, then I'm over here, like literally crying for 3 days about 64,000, because that's way more than I had in my bank account. So I just remember talking to my dad on the phone, and him saying, like, because I would always have affirmations on the back of my phone that I would read out loud. And I would read out loud, I am a 7-figure trader, I am a 7-figure trader. And so he was like, why are you crying over 6%?
He did not go there. He did not go there.
He did. He had to remind me. He was like, why are you crying over 6%? And that's, once again, you know, it's like, because I hadn't even acquired the I'm a 6-figure trader. And I used to say that. I used to say I'm a 6-figure trader, I'm a 6-figure trader. But it's like, I just came to realize that the only difference between 6 and 7 is one number. Like, it's like, it's all about belief. It's like, so often we'll say 6-figure trader because we've never touched 6. But then you touch 6 and you're like, dang, like, okay, I touched it, but like, was it really that hard to touch? So like, why didn't I say 7? I didn't have the belief level to think I could go straight to 7. You know, so it's like, even the 6-figure days that I ended up having, so fast forward, I had like dropped in course, I had dropped the community, God had basically, I felt like he put it on my heart to give my course free to all of my high school alumni and all my college alumni. So if I had gone to school with you, which was most of my network, it's free. And I'm like, dang, like, you know, I spent weeks making this course, and now I gotta give it away for free. And so I do that, but then once again, you know, God keeps a tab. So he's like, everything that you did, like, I'm gonna take care of on the back end. Then September of 2020, I took some shorts on EU on a Wednesday and ended up closing out on a Monday morning. But yeah, 103,000 in a day. But I also said it to say, like, had I already touched 6 or 7 figures, and had I maintained that order, like I would maintain any other order, it would have been 200 plus. It would have been like probably 240. So it just goes to show as well, like, you know, it's just levels and stages that you gotta constantly be going through, and I'm so glad I closed it out because it's like to even my biggest. That was one of the greatest moments of my life because I FaceTime my mom, I FaceTime my dad, I FaceTime Dante, and just to share that with them, people are like, "How did you celebrate? Like, did you go pop bottles? Like that was a celebration." Like to me, just getting to like, especially my mom being sick and her to know like my son is a success. Like my son said he was gonna get into trading, and now look at him, you know. And like my dad, same thing. Him being there every day with me, watching me grow as a trader, blowing accounts, him knowing like if I was up trading late last night, he'll see I'm sleepy or he'll see I'm upset because I probably blew my shit. He'd be like, last night didn't go so well. And of course, I'm not one to let him down either. So like all of these things, you know, because you know, as a trader, you start getting some wins, then you know he's just as excited to see my account in the morning as he's like, all right, what's it looking like today? Now I'm gonna show him my shit's gone, you know. And so him being supportive of that whole thing, to then me finally be able to call him and be like, I just did 103 in a day.
Fairlife has 50% more protein, 50% less sugar, and it's delicious.
Me and my brother, we used to sleep in the living room with my mom's, in the same bed at my grandma's house. Like, we didn't have a room. We was young, 6th grade, flipping quarters, shooting free throws for dollars, buy all the 25-cent bags of hot Cheetos, fill the backpack up, go to school, sell them for 50 cents. Once we got to a certain age, it was like we were twins. A lot of the things that I got into or opportunities that I seen was from my bro, from little bro. Like, you know, he stole computer parts and then he bring it in the bedroom. We share the bedroom. I'm like, man, get this junk out of here. I'm building a computer. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. You building a computer. He came back, I think, one day from high school with like $300. He was certified gifted as a little kid. Anybody that was around him, his charisma, he always stood out. People always like, oh, this guy is special. When he got out of high school, he was able to just really get to it and adapt. And my brother had put me on the CD game, and it just, you know, took off. I'm like, all right, I'm trying to peel a million out of this. But eventually somebody probably called in or did something where they started investigating. I'm like, oh, I took everything out the house, buried the bread, buried probably like 250 in there. Yep. The foundation of what we're doing, it doesn't last. Right? You're doing anything illegal or you're on the streets, so the hustle was like, no, this is what we're gonna do. This clothing gonna be big. It's gonna be one of the biggest things we do. Watch. When I first heard him write something, I couldn't believe it. I was like, you wrote this? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh man, this is special. Anytime Nick would pull up, it's like Michael Jackson pulled up in the So many people from the neighborhood was inspired. Somebody came, said one disrespectful thing, hustle, take his chains off, squabble. Mandatory respect, and at the same time, leading by example. I always felt that God was protecting me. It basically felt like nothing could happen.
What is y'all here?
Yeah, so this section at the top is all us. As far as fulfillment, this whole area is Marathon's area.
Oh man. Hey man, you know what's crazy about this right here? Is the people that work here, they probably got a gang of shirts.
You see him walking around with a marathon shirt like that?
You're like, oh yeah, I'm taking inventory and shit.
Right.
Alright now. This is a very special off air for me, bro. We've done many, but this is like one that's real extremely personal. And sitting down with you, Sam, bro, like for one, I gotta thank you for your time. Because I know this is not what you do. You know what I'm saying? And we had a chance, you know, just off the phone, out of the limelight.
My biggest concern when I was thinking of getting Botox Cosmetic was
Losing my expression. I wanted to stay hobby and stay me.
the doctor did great at explaining that the treatment plan for me was what I needed.
So I got treated on my forehead.
My crow's feet and my frown lines. I'm so happy with the results.
My results are subtle.
I'm still myself.
Just a fewer lines.
Top
to your doctor about Botox Cosmetic and whether it's right for you. The effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Learn more at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Get a quote at lemonade.com. And man, you know, we have great conversations. And we treat each other as men, as human beings, bro. So I know that your time is very precious. So thank you for allowing me to come down here and sit with you, bro.
100%, man. I appreciate you, you know, thinking to have me on the show, man. 100%.
I appreciate it, man.
You know.
Sam, were you born in LA, raised in LA? What's the background for it?
Yeah. Yeah, born here in LA. My pops is from Africa.
Yes, sir.
And he came to New York when he was 17. And then I think he came to LA when he was like maybe 20, 21.
What was it like just like growing up, man? Because you know, there's a lot of things that's in the household, you know what I'm saying? And plus with, you know, the family being extremely rooted, what was it like growing up for you though?
Growing up was good. You know, moms and pops was together a couple years and then split. So for me and bro, we was really our whole childhood was probably with moms at a granny house, and then pops, you know, on the weekends or every other weekend. So childhood was good. It was tight knit with my grandma, my grandfather on my mother's side, and my mom. You know, my uncle, yeah, just...
So it was good, like what we call real family structure.
No, 100%.
Yeah, man, yeah. So with good family structure, man, was there always music kind of in the household? Or,
yeah.
And if it was, you know, what kind of music?
Yeah, 100% oldies, you know, Grandma, Al Green, Marvin Gaye, you know, Mom, 94.7 Wave.
Yes, sir.
100%. That was...
Sam, are you the oldest when it comes to brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
All right. And what's the breakdown?
I'm about, I'm 3 years older than my brother. And my sister, I'm like, maybe like 10. 10 years older.
What is it? And just in the household, like we grew up, man, it was 7 of us as far as kids. Single parent, though. My mom took care of us. But you know, we did everything in house. We didn't have 5,000 channels. Right. We didn't have money. You know what I'm saying? Right. Was it kind of the same with you guys, just kind of in the household where you understood the family dynamic and were y'all always tight with each other?
Yeah, 100%. I think me and my brother, we used to sleep in the living room with my mom's in the same bed at my grandma's house. Like, we didn't have a room. So we was tight knit, you know, moms on it, working, making sure. And she saved up some money and bought a house like maybe 2 blocks down. A couple more than 2 blocks on 60th Street, but really like 5 minutes drive from my grandma's house. So when she moved out to her house, then it was me and my mom and my brother. Right? And then she had my sister. And so now we in the household, you know, it's a little more struggle because his mom's got bills and doing things on her own, but yeah, we had to make do.
How old were you around that time?
I think I may have been like, I was in 5th grade.
Hey man, from 5th grade, about 10 years of age, man. Do you know, at that time, did you notice the struggle?
Probably not at that time, but when we moved over there, and then, you know, as moms on our own, we start noticing, because it's, you know, you're going to high school.
Yeah, man.
Excuse me, you're going to junior high, 6th grade, now you went to Jordans, you know, you're seeing everybody else, what they have, and so that's probably right around the time when you start realizing, like, oh, okay,
we don't have it.
Right.
Yeah, man. Did you always know that you wanted to get it?
Yeah, 100%.
Early on, huh?
100%. We was young, 6th grade, flipping quarters, shooting free throws for dollars.
Yeah, so that hustle had always been in your bloodline.
Yeah, 100%. I think, you know, my mom you know, was always trying to look and put us in a positive situation. So she had found like a magnet school, a medical magnet, and it happened to be in Watts. So she telling me it's a medical magnet, so I'm going out there thinking it's a medical magnet. It was like 10% of the school was medical magnet.
Right,
The other
right.
90 was public school, so it was at Markham Middle School.
Yeah.
So
were you in the magnet program, or she told you that there's a magnet school?
she said it's a magnet school, but I'm in the magnet program.
Right. Okay.
At the school.
So had you been studious growing up?
Yeah, you know, I was going to school earlier, probably. My mom was working at Kaiser Permanente. So I was going to school. I was going to one of the schools by.
Which one, on La Cienega, or which Kaiser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so. And then so I was going to school.
The all-new GMC Acadia takes you on even bigger journeys with available Super Cruise hands-free driving. Live your biggest life in the all-new GMC Acadia.
What's it called? Carthay Center. It's over there. So to change from there, from 5th to Markham 6th, you know, we had to learn pretty quick, but it was good. Like, you know, learning, hustling, making sure if we wanted the kicks, we got them. Hustle came to the same school also, so that was like the ground. So you know, make sure that we kind of knew how to get what we needed.
Early on, could you see the responsibility of being the oldest sibling early on?
Yep.
And what did that consist of?
I think just, you know, trying to make sure that lead by example, and then also probably being overprotective. You know what I'm saying? But once we got to a certain age, it was like we were twins. Like when we get to a certain age, it's like we dealing with the same things I'm dealing with. It's not like older or younger. It's like we on the same level. We want, you know, sharpen my steel, and I'm gonna try to sharpen it also. So
You and Nip had always been extremely close?
yeah,
100%. Same with like me and my brother Mouse, man, we were, you know, I mean, if you saw one, you saw the other. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot that I learned from my older brothers. Like Keith was my brother that really introduced me to music. Like looking at notes and looking at credits and listening to certain sounds and not knowing that I was paying the tuition into the school of experience for the profession that I'm in now, with melodic music, knowing how to talk, knowing how to go beyond what I'm listening to. So that was like kind of almost like a finishing school for me. Early on, did you know, and when you look back now, did you know that you were paying a lot of tuition into the school of experience with, you know, flipping quarters and making dollar shots and things of that nature?
Yeah, I think, you know, when we was going through it, definitely not. But I think in hindsight, we both kind of appreciated that we had to kind of like figure it out on our own, and you know, we gained that edge young. So, you know, when we was in high school and got out of high school, we was able to just really get to it and adapt in a way that a lot of our friends that had were not able to. So, definitely, in hindsight, you know, we always appreciate the struggle.
Man, tell me about like when you guys do kind of go back home to see where Pops is from. What was that journey like, and about how old are you around that time?
Yeah, I think that was 2004. So for me, I want to say maybe like I'm 22, and Hustle was probably 19.
Did you want to make that trip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. You know, the backstory, my father was, you know, always telling us, like, I'm going to take you guys home. So it was always in our head, but, you know, due to circumstances, we never ended up making it out there. And at this point, I want to run.
Right.
Or, you know, I'm feeling like I need to get out. I had a couple dollars. And so, shit hit the fan a little bit. I'm like, I need to get low. I immediately just popped in my head, like, oh, this the perfect time.
This is it.
Yep. So I hit Pops, like, hey, Pops, get the tickets. Right now.
Hey, man, and when you say you're on the run, man, like, I want to talk about hustle, like neighborhood Sam. You know, the hustle part of you as well. Because you know how to say, man, I'm my brother's keeper. that was you, right? Early on.
I think I'm just, honestly speaking, man, I just try to do my part and hustle. Really, a lot of the things that I got into or opportunities that I seen was from my bro,
Right.
From little bro. Like, he was always, things where he was sharp and he always seen opportunity. So we was always hustling, but he would always come up with it. We'd be like, and he'll put me on it. And I just try to take it to my level that I could take it to, and him also. So we was both, we was both doing our thing, and I think for me it was just how can I add value, and to speak on what you're talking about, music. He always had a love for music since he was young, and we would have money, he would just go and spend it all on Source magazines and this, and buying CDs, and I'm like, bro, save your money, but that was his passion. And moving forward, when we get older, when you don't have, you want to get money, and you want to get to it, but it comes to a point when you're getting money, what's the next level? And what do you do with it? And I think he had the vision, and he was like, look, this is what we're gonna do. This is what I'm doing, this is what I started. This is the label, he had the books. Master P did it like this is how we gonna take what we doing in the streets. And so that really gave me the direction to like have something to go to.
You had already been doing your thing, but kind of away from it.
Yeah.
And not to dime anything out with that, because I know that it was like bootleg CDs, and and so was that a great hustle for you as well?
Yeah, 100%. I think at that point for me it was like the new dope game. It was new. Nobody was doing it. The profit margin on it was like shocking. Couldn't believe it.
So Sam, what was it? It was CDs, DVDs.
Yep.
There was how people run into the barber shop, right? Somebody selling something.
Right.
Was that probably something? But you were doing mass distribution.
Yeah, I think it started off just hustling. I used to work at a restaurant called the Bayou Grill in Inglewood, and I was right there cooking, and I was at the counter. So I was a young dude. My brother worked there with me too. I was a young dude at the counter that was all the hustlers, all the niggas selling dope. Everybody would come through and they would see me back there, tighten me up, give me some game. I would observe a lot. So anybody coming through the Bayou Grill that had anything.
Texas values to live by. Be a good neighbor. Always call your mom back. And never overpay for chicken tenders. Get a Texas-sized scratch-made meal every day of the week. Only $9.99 and only at Cotton Patch.
I'm sandwiched between the two generations. I'm helping to give caregiver responsibilities to my dad, and then my son who's just out of college. So it's like, where can I put my money where it can grow a little bit faster? I found Wealthfront and let it work its magic. The cash account is more like, what will my dad need? And then the investment account is what I want. My passion is traveling. I traveled to 6 continents. My last continent is what I'm going to save for. You get that, you've earned so much this month. It's like, hey, I made a wise decision there.
For sale. I was the dude behind the counter, a wad of money buying it. So from anything, not to be speaking like that, but niggas that had pounds and had this and had that, I'm buying it and trying to flip it at the spot, and the chip phones, the phones at that time that was going on, how many you got? 15, give them to me, and I have them. So I was hustling there, and my brother had put me on a CD game, so I had the CDs there, and I had whatever I could have there, and eventually when the guys in there came in and had the DVDs, that's right when the DVD burner came, I think the DVD burner was like $700 for one burner. And so he had the DVDs and people was just transitioning from VHSs. Really nobody had DVDs in their household. So he kind of put me up on what it was, and he selling them for $20. He's making them for $1. And so I'm like, all right.
That profit margin, like, shoot, it's better than any other game right now.
100%. That's how I got into that, and then it just, took off like crazy. I used to be, I had a spot on my off days. I used to be making $800-900 a day. And people
were you still trying to keep the job?
Yeah, I was still working. That was my sister Pop's restaurant. So, and I was kind of like one of the main ones in there. I felt like keeping it, keeping it afloat. So I didn't just want to But it came to a point where it was too much going on, too much traffic.
Right.
Because everybody would be hitting me on my off, like, where you at? I'm like, pull up, you know, and so I went back. And they end up, you know, telling me like, hey, you can't be doing this out here.
All these customers, nobody eat.
Yeah, right. Guys, buy something, you know. So I end up having to part ways and just full time, 7 days a week.
And then you go and even more so.
1,500, 2,500, 3,500 a day, 7 days a week, non-stop, all day long. Then I had people buying wholesale from me. You know, I used to be at this Bonds parking lot in Inglewood. I used to have a line looking like McDonald's line. People just, I'm in the trunk, you know. But that was, you know, in hindsight looking at it, that was God blessing me with an opportunity that was rare. And everybody used to come through. People I know like, hey, bro, this shit is crazy. Like, we see you, I just watched you make like $400-500 in 10 minutes. You out here all day, every day, 7 days a week. This shit don't happen. Don't stop. I'm taking my lunch breaks. This shit is different.
So this is all cash.
Yeah, all cash. You know, I used to walk around. I had sweatpants with zippers that I made. I used to have the 20s and the 50s and the 100s in this pocket, looking like this. I used to have the 5s and the 10s in this pocket. That's the change, and it just be in there.
Hey man, you know how sometimes when we call a penny, did you ever think about this could be over?
Yeah, I think my goal, especially once I start making as much as I was making, I'm like, all right, I'm trying to peel a million out of this. That's why I'm there 7 days a week. I'm not taking no breaks. I'm there 20 hours a day. I'm going burning, like making my.
So by that time, you have multiple burners?
Yeah, we went all in. I got 27 stack burners. I got other people burning stuff for me. You know, it's just taking it to the next level. We wholesaling. Just trying to get to that level, and you know, people also. I'm in somebody's hood. I'm getting money. They seeing it. So those niggas come up there trying to rob me. I'm up there with a pistol, bulletproof. I'm in the rain with pneumonia, with an umbrella.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking at if I'm not there, I'm losing 2,500, 1,500 on a slow day. So, you know, everything happened for a reason, and the only thing that could have stopped me from being there 7 days a week was, you know, them coming in and trying to, Motion Picture Association ended up coming in trying to, trying to blitz, and trying to open up a case on me.
So how do they find you if you're in the parking lot and you can go stop?
Yeah,
they found you.
Yeah, I think you know, it was like cat and mouse after a while. Like every day, police would pull in. I used to have the lookouts. You know, they'd be like, "Sam," so I slam the trunk and just go inside. It's lunchtime when the police come and come back out. But eventually, somebody probably called in or did something where they started investigating. Motion Picture Association came out. They had like a squad, and you know, then they blitzed. I ended up, you know, tussling and getting away. Then one of my partners that I know, he was a sheriff. He's like, hey, look, there's some new shit going on. They getting task force, and if the motion picture come out, they open the file on you. Like, did they take pictures? I'm like, yeah, they were snapping pictures, license plates. He's like, oh, they coming. They open the file on you, they coming. So that's what led to. I'm like, oh, I took everything out the houses, wherever the addresses was at, Granny's house, Mom's. Took the bread, buried the bread.
Yeah. And how much did you bury?
Buried probably like 250
in cash.
Yep.
And then when you buried the 250, did you get popped at that time? Did you get popped for any of the copyright in that?
Yeah, I got arrested one time, belted out.
Of course.
Yeah, so I'm fighting the case, and then now I'm back in. You know, take a little minute out of my spot. I'm still, you know, trying to get the bread, get to the money, but looking, the spot kind of quieted down. People like that, police stopped coming through here, so then I'm back at the same spot.
So when you were saying things were hot, you was talking about that hot, not neighborhood hot.
Oh no.
Just that CD.
Yeah.
Shop Texas' largest selection of canned cocktails and seltzers during Specs Beat the Heat sale.
Well, like me needing to feel like I need to get up out of there. Yeah, that's because I felt like it was an open case on me. Yeah, they was about to hit the house. The spot was all like they going through there every day. The spot, the location I was at. So I'm like, all right, it's time to go.
So you buried 250, and then you go to Africa.
Yeah.
How long are you in Africa?
We in Africa for like 2.5 months.
Oh, so you had, what was that experience like?
It was crazy. I think, you know, we had to wrestle with Nip to go with us.
Right, because he didn't want to go.
He
Was
money.
Nip with you in the, when you were doing the CDs, DVDs, and everything, at a distance?
And Nip was doing his thing. You know, he was hustling. He was getting money a lot of different ways. He you know, he put me up on that CD thing a long time ago when he was in high school. He actually built the computer, young, with the burner in it, and was showing me. I was like, man, he bringing backpacks full of equipment. He stole computer parts, and then he bring it in the bedroom. We share the bedroom. I'm like, bro, get this shit up out of here, man. I'm clean. I wanted my shit clean.
Right.
Like, get this junk out of here. I'm building the computer. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. You building the computer. So he built it, and that motherfucker was working, and then he stole the CD burner. He got one, and he put it in, and he showed me, and he came back, I think, one day from high school with like $300. And so this is the time I'm flipping burgers still. I'm making like 60, 70 a day. Like, I make 300 today, man, and I'm off of CDs. Yeah. You know, all the news he was telling me, I go to Napster, I get it before it comes out. I got a list. He showed me these lists. He's like, I got another 300-400 orders that I'm burning today to get to school. So I was just, now I'm like, all right, show me. And so now he showed me everything. And,
That wasn't junk anymore.
Not junk. You know, at this point, he was still kind of shorter than me. So I'm like, all right, that's mine. I took over it. He was mad. We arguing back
Take over my enterprise.
Taking over this burner for a minute, but I always joke and laugh like, man, any hustle we was ever on, me, everybody, our friends that we grew up with, you know, bro was the visionary. And brought it to the team.
From an early age.
From an early age, man. Early age.
Damn. So when you see that there is this lucrative thing that can go on, and Nip is already on it, right? And you take it, you say, man, it went from, you know, from trash to treasure, and it becomes your thing. Right? You go for 2.5 months to Africa. You bury the money before you bounce.
Yeah.
You come back home.
Yep.
And where was the money buried at?
In my mom's backyard.
In the mom's backyard. Did you see that on like some movie or shit, some shit, or?
Probably growing up, but I think for me it was like, you know, we in the hood, and you know, I don't want nobody when I'm gone breaking in the house and stealing the money, or breaking into Granny's house, or even if the police come,
right,
they hit the house, you know. So my thing was like, man, what can I do? So I did immediately, I'm finna get a shovel. You know, it took a lot longer than I thought. I'm trying to dig it as deep as I can without sweating and passing out, but I got it probably like 6-7 feet deep. Rolled them motherfucker safe in there.
What was the money in? It was like $250,000.
Yeah,
what was it in?
It was wrapped in plastic, like sandwich bags. Each 1,000 we had it wrapped up, rubber band over each 1,000.
Took time.
Yeah, it had been like that in the safe.
Right, gotcha.
But that's how it was. Really, the safe was already rubber band up, you know. But then once it got into that hole, I'm thinking, and this is to anybody who don't know, I'm thinking I buy a waterproof and fireproof safe. That shit is not waterproof.
Yeah, so you come home.
Yeah.
Do you dig the 6-7 feet yourself?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, 100%.
So you dig your safe out. What happened?
And I'm digging for hours and hours, pulling my hair out because I'm not hitting the safe.
Right.
So I'm thinking somebody went in there and got it. And finally, you know, I'm praying like, finally I hit. You know, I hit this and I'm like, oh. And then it took me probably like another 4 hours to get it wedged out. I'm just in there, I gotta go head first, and I'm trying to flip it around and then finally when I get the part with the combination and the key, I forget the combo. So now I'm trying to play with it for another hour, and finally I open it, and when I open it, it's filled up with water. And so then I'm just like, I ain't never had no breakdown, I'm just sitting up, lose it. I just take everything out, put it in a duffel bag, get out, running the house. I'm going crazy. My mom is like, what's going on? I go in the bathroom. She's like, what the fuck is going on? What's the matter with you? And then I'm just trying to figure out like how I salvaged it. The money was molded, wet. Each stack was like falling apart. When we pull it apart, it was just crumbling. So mom's went and got blow dryers for me. And so I just went in the bathroom and was peeling them off. Little by little, put them to the side, blow drying them till they get back hard, so they wouldn't break. And then bro came in, helped me, moms helped me, pops came, helped. So we was just in there separating them and trying to salvage as much of it as we could.
You put 250 in.
Yeah.
When that afternoon slump hits, you boss up. Ratio with 25 grams of protein. And you savor that win. Ratio. Every win counts. She's busy.
That's my answer.
What you do?
Probably like a good, maybe like good 50 was just like
gone.
Like we couldn't do nothing with it, broke all up. The rest of the money we salvaged, and it was just smelled like shit, fucked up on the edges. But you know, this was like we counted it up. It was like, all right, this is what we got, and it was the campaign. Like, man, we next check cashing. How many stores they got in this area? We got the map. It's 50 of them. Everybody 2,000. Go. And we just get money orders. Money orders. 2,000. Came to a point where we couldn't even walk into the Knicks. As soon as we get in the line, they're like, oh, hell no. Get the fuck out the store. That money, that bullshit ass money stinks. So we was banned from the Knicks. Everybody from the Knicks all over the city, if anybody working in the Knicks, they remember us. And we was coming through with the 2,000, trying to get $2,000 money orders.
And so, you know you lost 50 off the top, and then the other was stinky money.
Yep.
But you were able to get that back. So you lost 250 complete. I mean, 50 complete.
Yeah, 50 was
and
like...
that's 50 real ones.
Yep. 50 real ones, man. And it was all in the 100 stacks.
Damn.
The 100 stacks be just 10 bills. It was the 5s, the 20s, and 10s that survived, because the top, it was 1,000, but the top 2 bills go to waste. The bottom 2 bills will go to waste. So when it's a 5, a 10, or 20, you may lose like $40. On the 1,000, on the 100 stacks, you lose the full top and the full bottom. That's the whole 1,000. So it was the low denominations that we were able to save, which was good. And it was good that, you know, a lot of the bills was low bills. So
where do you go from there, though? Once you dig it up and you do all the nicks and try to get it back, what's the next so-called hustle that comes? Is the other game gone now?
The other game is not gone at this point, but it's different. And I'm hot. And, you know, my goal was, for number one, I'm not spending shit.
Right.
So at this point, I'm not spending nothing. I'm in the bucket, you know, I'm not spending nothing, but we had one good Christmas, made sure that the fam got cars and everybody was good, and after that, I'm not spending nothing. And at this point, it was like, we gotta spend it. So now it was like, what we gonna spend it with? And Hustle was getting money. Hustle was like, look, this what we need to do. So he's like, man, I'm putting everything I got in it. Let's throw some money at it too. So that's when we went. That's when we on the jewelry. We spending money on certain things and really building the label up. You know, all equipment. You know, bought a spot, got another spot in Atlanta. We just going trying to, like, you know, build the infrastructure and get the team right.
So he already got the music bug and already got thinking music business.
100%.
So take what we have and put it into music, put it into, you know, the dream.
Yep, 100%.
Did you trust that early on? Because you already seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I trusted it because, like I used to tell everybody this, but him also, when I first heard him write something, I couldn't believe it. You know, I was like, you wrote this? He like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, this is special. And so, you know me, I'm like, shit, my brother wrote that. So I start trying to write some shit. And I'm writing for 2 weeks, and I just threw the shit away, and I ain't got it. So I always
at certain points, did it feel like Baby Bro needed Big Bro?
No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%, man. 100%. And, you know, even since we was young, we always knew he was, like, special. And, you know, it was always for the older brother. You know, it's an honor that my little brother is doing, you know, things that I can be proud of. Right. And just, you know, never fail, man, since we was little.
So you saw how special your bro, how special Nick was before the world knew how special he was.
100%. I think anybody at this time, a lot of people ask me this question, like, man, when did he? And I be telling them, it wasn't no when, it was always anybody that was around him from young. He was certified gifted as a little kid. Anybody that was around him, his charisma, he always stood out. People always were like, oh, this guy's special. from a little kid to junior high to high school to, you know, in the neighborhood, the homies, everybody like, no, this dude is special. Everybody, you know, Nip led, you know what I'm saying, that people followed and respected and looked up to. Older, young, it didn't matter. They knew.
Who tapped into the neighborhood first?
Hustle. Oh, for sure. Hustle. You know, I'm young and I'm going to school in Watts before him, so as far as like knowing about hoods and gang LA culture, I was exposed to that first, going to Watts and going to school at Markham, outside of our neighborhood, what we saw. But once, you know, obviously Nip got older, Nip in our neighborhood, which I never wanted